Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. A brisk Wednesday night in Buffalo, New York, brings us to the penultimate week of action. It's the Buffalo Bulls and the Miami Redhawks with major postseason implications on the line tonight. Coming into the second to final week of conference play, a stack of two-loss teams, everyone chasing Western Michigan, but still alive in the hunt to get to Detroit are Buffalo and Miami. But you gotta win tonight. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher alongside the former Ohio State captain, Dustin Fox, who, by the way, played a number of years with the Buffalo Bills. You'd think he was ready for cold weather. He's the most bundled up guy here.
I did play for the Buffalo Bills. I live in Northeast Ohio, and yes, I don't like the cold, so hence the hat. Leave me alone, will you?
It's going to be a tough night to be a quarterback in this weather. Speaking of quarterback, a big change for Miami going into last week. They're no longer with DeQuan Finn. He has left the program. Chuck Martin wished him the best in his future endeavors.
Yeah, no doubt. Unfortunate end to a great career in the Mid-American Conference. DeQuan Finn will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks to ever play in this conference. And an opportunity tonight for Henry Hesson, who steps in, the fifth-year senior quarterback. It's a great story. You know, comes back for this final season, was promised nothing other than the backup role. And, you know, he started 3 games in his career, so this will be his 4th career start, an opportunity to finish the season strong. And, hey, who knows? Maybe they can get to Detroit.
We will also likely see Thomas Gutowski, the true freshman, who you also saw on that split screen in some various packages, against a Buffalo defense that's been the strength of this team all year, Dustin Fox, and their leader, one of the best linebackers in the country, Red Murdoch.
Yeah, this guy's back. I mean, last year he had Sean Dolak to play next to him. Now this young man is the stud in the center of this defense. Matt, what he's been able to do throughout his career, 336 tackles, 17 forced fumbles, which, oh, by the way, is the most in FBS history. Yes, the most ever in FBS history. It's pretty remarkable. The knack to find the football and get the thing out is unbelievable by this young man. And Coach Lembo said he's a great player, but he's an even better human being.
One of the greatest teammates that many of these coaches on the Buffalo staff have ever been around. And certainly the leader on the field for this Buffalo defense, which hopes to get a couple of turnovers tonight in a must-win game for two teams with their eyes set on the MAC title game in Detroit. Kickoff is next. Welcome back to Buffalo. The Bulls running out in front of the home crowd, waiting for the Miami Redhawks. The home team has won the last 7 meetings in this series, and it usually is a meaningful matchup at the end of the regular season. Both teams still with a chance, Dustin, to make the MAC championship game. And of course, with a win tonight, Miami really controls its own destiny. MAC championship game is a place Chuck Martin has been in each of the last 2 seasons. He is the winningest head coach in Miami's illustrious football career. And on the other side, Pete Lembo, in his 2nd season as the head man here at Buffalo, coming off a historic year last year, 9 wins, a 6-win improvement, has his team set for another bowl-eligible season.
Yeah, this game is certainly a game that matters in the Mid-American Conference, and the weather is cold, to put it In a nice way.
In case nobody noticed with the hat that you were wearing during our open.
You've been killing me. I tried to get you to put one on. It's called a trapper hat, by the way. As you giggle.
I'm sure we'll talk more about that later in the show. Buffalo won the toss, elected to defer, so Miami will get the football. A win tonight not only keeps both teams in the hunt for the MAC title, but keeps them in the hunt for a bowl. And we are underway from UB Stadium. And as we talked about in the open, no more DeQuan Finn, so this is Henry Hessen's offense. And tonight he'll be making just his 4th collegiate start despite being a 5th-year senior.
Yeah, his last performance against Toledo was not his best effort. There's no doubt about that. The 3 interceptions certainly jump out at you. And when we chatted with Chuck Martin this week, they feel like another week of practice to prepare for this game. It's an opportunity for him. I mean, Matt, we had them early in the season against UNLV, and he performed very well. Came into that game, DeQuan Finn went down the second quarter and had them in position to win that ball game. But nonetheless, another opportunity for this young man to end his career on a high note.
Gives it to Jordan Brunson. He is tackled promptly after a gain of 1. Junior Poyser was in there for a Buffalo defense that ranks in the tops in the conference in tackles for loss, sacks, red zone defense. And they have been holding their opponents to less than 22 points per game. It has definitely been the strength and the identity of the team this year in year 2 of the Pete Lembo era. Pressure comes. Hessen takes a shot, and it's behind his intended target, Cam Perry, who's become one of the top wide receivers in the MAC this year.
Yeah, the one thing I'm curious to see is will they be able to take some shots down the field against this Buffalo secondary that I don't think has been tested all that much this season. You know, teams, I think there's some opportunities to take some shots. Now, Buffalo has been really good at getting off the field on 3rd down. Miami's been really bad at converting on 3rd down.
Josh Ringer in for 3rd and 9 at running back. Delayed blitz. Hessen gets taken down in the backfield. A sack for Miles Greer.
Miles Greer wearing the 41 tonight for Buffalo. Comes up with a monster play from that safety position. Off the right side, unblocked, to the blind side of Henry Hessen. And a beautiful start for Buffalo.
Miami has scored just once this year on an opening drive. It was a field goal. And now Buffalo has a chance to strike first despite kicking off to begin the game. Victor Snow, the return man. And so we will see the 6th-year senior Taquan Roberson, who is among the top quarterbacks in the conference.
The substitution process. This is a 5-yard penalty on the offense. Replay, 2nd down.
Which is a much better outcome than what would have transpired had Roberson picked the ball up inside his own 15.
Chasing the football down like a punter that had the ball snapped over his head. I mean, that was going to be a disastrous play for the Bulls.
Second and 12. There is Terrence Shelton Jr., who expects to get more carries tonight, coming off a season high 11 rushes last week. You mentioned the turnovers, Dustin. Aljay Henderson has fumbled at least once in each of this team's 2 conference losses.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Last year he had a breakout season, didn't have 1 fumble at all. last year en route to a 1,000-yard season and 9 touchdowns. And for some reason this year, it's been a bit of a bugaboo for the young running back.
3rd and 7, Miami brings pressure. Roberson with a one-on-one coverage, and it was thrown a little bit behind his intended target with Caleb Martin in coverage.
Really good coverage by Caleb Martin, Matt. This was a double move on the outside, trying to work against Martin. Gaithings is the target, steps down, and great eye discipline on the outside by Martin.
So a 3 and out for both offenses on their opening drives of the game. Dylan Drennan on to punt it away. Lionel Billups Williams will drift all the way inside his own 10, fell, and now they'll blow him dead.
I think his knee hit the ground as he slipped, trying to take care of the football. Well, you like punts? You came to the right place. Tie ball game from Buffalo.
Welcome back to UB Stadium in Amherst, New York. No blood after the first 2 drives stalled for both offenses. Miami leads the all-time series with Buffalo 17-9. However, the last 7 meetings have been won by the home team. Miami starts inside its own 10 after a 55-yard punt by Dylan Drennan. There's Brunson. And despite bouncing off of bodies, only picked up about 2. Both programs with a win tonight can become bowl eligible. Miami seeking their 5th straight bowl eligible season. Meanwhile, Buffalo has been bowl eligible in 4 out of the last 6 seasons. They've won all 4 of those bowl games,
including the last time we had Buffalo in the Bahamas this past January, Matthew.
little bit warmer than tonight here in New York.
Just a little bit.
Thomas Gostkowski in at running back, true freshman.
Gostkowski just gives them a little more of a dual threat from the quarterback position. Hasn't played a ton, just a freshman. Hasn't even thrown a pass yet in his collegiate career. But with the absence of Finn, and Miami still with hopes of finding a way, both these teams, by the way, are trying to get to Detroit. But with Miami, I mean, they're without their starting quarterback for the whole season, so they've got to do anything and everything to try to find a spark on offense.
3rd and 4. They send Keith Reynolds in motion. Pressure off the edge, and it forced an errant throw by Hessen.
This is a very, very stout Buffalo defense, and they're going to bring pressure. And it's smart. You know, Hessen just doesn't have a lot of playing experience. And with the absence of their right tackle, Drew Terrell's out for this game, and some other injuries. I mean, they're really banged up. It's sort of part of football, right? This time of year, November, not everybody's healthy.
Pierce Stainton with a short punt. Victor Snow telling everybody to get out of the way. It's down at the 50-yard line, and that will take us to our next timeout. Buffalo will have excellent starting field position as they try to score first tonight.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff, and in part by The General. The General gives you a break on car insurance when you need it most.
Why Red Murdoch dominated that 26-7 victory Buffalo had last year in the Bahamas Bowl. You and I were there.
Did you say 26-7?
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
you
I'm
did
sorry.
not go there.
Dude, I've got teenage kids. Sorry. Every time I hear it, it's like a whole thing now.
Gen Z's everywhere just went insane because of Dustin Fox. There's a completed pass to Josiah Gathings out near the first down marker. And this is one of the great things about the Bahamas Bowl. Staying at the Atlantis Resort, the teams get a chance to unwind a little bit in the week leading up to the bowl game. It's really a reward for these teams to get that coveted Bahamas Bowl assignment because they get to spend all this time off the field taking advantage of everything that the Atlantis Resorts has to offer. Terrence Shelton Jr. stopped short, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for Buffalo. Trying to become bowl eligible for the 7th time in the last 9 years with a win tonight, which would also keep them in the hunt for the MAC title game. Quickly under center with a little help from his tailback. And Taquan Roberson moves the chains. The first down of the night for either team.
Matt, he didn't have it at first, but the extra push from Shelton, the running back with the tush push there, is like Saquon Barkley. Oh, goodness.
Intercepted. Picked off by Miami. Their 17th takeaway of the season.
What a great read by Aiden Walker Jr., the young freshman. Makes a heck of a play hit for his first interception of his career. And this is just I would say probably a poor read, frankly, by Taquan Roberson. He doesn't even look out there, and at the last moment, he fires the ball without even really seeing his receiver, and Walker's already in his break. If he's able to stay on his feet, Matt, he would be banging his head against the goalpost.
Adrian Walker Jr., true freshman from Inkster, Michigan. Top 35 turnover defense in the country, playing against a Buffalo team that leads the MAC in interceptions, now they're 10th. And Thomas Gutowski leads the Miami defense, which is all kinds of movement up front.
False start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This is about as early as you can get. I mean, this is not the Arena League.
Well, Keith Reynolds tonight, an excellent wide receiver transfer from Washington. He's also been excellent in the return game. They're going to line him up all over the place tonight, including a tailback, just to find ways to get him the football. Brunson burrows ahead for a gain of 4. You mentioned all the injuries and changes to this offense. They're without their starting right tackle tonight, Drew Terrell. They are, of course, without their leading rusher, Kenny Tracy, who tore his ACL in the MAC opener last month. And no Daquan Finn for the rest of the year. So this is an offense that looks a lot different, Dustin, than it did at the beginning of MAC play.
It really does, but it's nothing new for Chuck Martin. I mean, he's dealt with this his entire career. He's had loss after loss on offense, and they just find a way to get it done. That's the Chuck Martin way. And really, it's how you have to be. When you start the season, think about this. You start the season with 2 Big Ten opponents, Wisconsin, Rutgers on the road. Then you come back home for your opener against UNLV, which is a really talented club. It's a challenge. And then you start MAC play after all these tough opponents. I mean, you're already banged up by the time you get into conference play, and then you get to November. It's just a huge challenge. But he doesn't make excuses about it, and they're still in a position to potentially get back to Detroit.
3rd and 6. Gutowski takes a shot. It's incomplete. There was some contact there with Kobe Blackwell and Cole Weaver, but no flags. And the Bulls defense will get another stop.
Yeah, the ball was underthrown. At the last moment, Hessen sees his target down the field open. And because Cole Weaver has to come back to the ball, he ends up running into Kobe Blackwell. I think it's a good no call.
And so for the 3rd consecutive time tonight, Pierce Stainton, the punter for Miami, is on to boot it away. Almost blocked. And again, Victor Snow telling everyone to get out of the way. And a flag comes in way late at about the 33-yard line. after a punt of 46.
Rolls inside 20. There is a flag on the play.
Miles Greer almost blocked the punt. Now we'll get a listen into
During
what
the
the penalty
kick,
is.
holding, return team number 4. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout for media.
We will take the timeout with him. Monster SEC tripleheader on ABC this weekend starts with number 8 Oklahoma hosting number 22 Missouri. Then Arkansas going to be upset-minded at Texas in the 3:30 window. And an underrated rivalry in the SEC. Tennessee at Florida will finish the day. After a 46-yard punt plus a 10-yard holding penalty, here's Aljay Henderson out from the shadow of his own end zone. First carry of the night for a top 5 rusher in the MAC.
And you got to think, after being the guy, and then for this game, you don't get the start. They're going to go with Shelton to start the ball game. Probably a little extra added motivation. He was running pretty hard on that first carry.
Henderson again, short gain on the play.
Well, this Buffalo team is 6-0 all time in the last 2 years when Al-Jay Henderson runs for 100 yards plus. And Dustin, last year, you mentioned it, became the 15th 1,000-yard rusher in a single season in program history.
And really did nothing before last season. So it was a true breakout year for Al-Jay Henderson. And you know, we can take away that loss and make it 4-0 when he runs for 100 or more.
3rd and 9 now upcoming for Buffalo, whose last drive resulted in a turnover, but their defense has just been so good this year. They've kept them in every game despite the turnovers.
You know, I was joking before the game. I was talking with some folks about what we sort of expected tonight, and we were saying, you know, maybe 1st to 20 wins the ball game. Well, after sort of watching these teams feel each other out and knowing, you know, the lack of production is now there's probably going to be a big play.
There you go, off the tip, Nick McMillan inside the 40-yard line with the biggest offensive play of the game.
And just like that, I think I jinxed the offenses. We'll probably have a 50-plus explosion on offense. What a play! What a concentration play though on the outside by McMillan. He has really come on the last month, Matt. He's become really one of the top guys, not just in the conference, but in the entire country. And you know, for a guy who missed most of last year, it's impressive to see him bounce back.
They sent Snow in motion, and the stretch play goes nowhere. In fact, it's a loss after Roosevelt Andrews III got in there from the D tackle position. Well, McMillan last year, remember, he went into the season as their top wide receiver. Said he outperformed every other wide receiver in the room in fall camp. Tore his ACL week 2 at Missouri. Lost him for the season. All he's done this year is produce, Dustin, coming back from that knee injury.
4 straight 100-yard games for this young man. 49 catches coming into this game, make it 50 now.
Now at 7 catches of 38 yards or more after that 41-yarder. Roberson, another dart, and a 6-yard gain, hitting McMillan again.
Just a hitch on the outside, easy pitch and catch, and now it makes this a very manageable 3rd and call it 5. But with where they're at on the field, Matt, 4-down territory 100%.
Their kicker Jack Howes has hit from 50, but on a chilly night with light wind, maybe a little bit outside of his range here. 3rd and 5. Roberson ensures they don't have to bring the field goal unit out. Victor Snow with a 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are 2 of the most talented receivers in this conference, and they play on the same team. Nice route. He's such a great slot receiver, Matt, because he's got this innate ability to work in space. And with his size, I mean, he's not the biggest guy, 5'8". I mean, they list him at 168. I would doubt he hits 168 if he stepped on the scale. He's tiny, but he's like a water bug out there. He's amazing to watch.
Here he is again with the football on the pitch. A little trickeration from Pete Lambeau's team.
They really want to just try to do anything to get the ball in the hands of Victor Snow. They've done it before. Last week he was doing the same thing against Central Michigan. It just wasn't enough on offense to get it done. But you can see how elusive he is. And Matt, he's a legitimate 4.4 40-yard dash guy. So he's got true track speed.
Second and 3 on the ground. It is strung out by Malcolm McCain. And it brings up 3rd down.
I do want to note that we talk about those injuries for Miami. You know, playing without Corbin Hondrew is a huge loss for the Miami defense. And, you know, the guy who's basically been the bell cow back there has been lost for the season, elbow injury. So we wish that young man a lot of success getting healthy.
Another 1st down catch, a good-looking drive developing here. Marcus Velez with just his 5th catch of the season to extend the drive. And this is coming on the heels of an interception on the last drive by Roberson for a team that has led the MAC this year in turnovers. The 10th play of the drive upcoming. Roberson to the end zone. That was caught, but out of bounds, I believe. No, they're going to say he was in for a touchdown. Chance Morrow with his second touchdown of the season. And Buffalo draws first blood.
Well, he definitely caught the ball. The question is, did a body part touch out of bounds prior to him having possession? They'll definitely take a peek at this one. And I guess I'm definitely not sure he caught the ball from that angle because it's close. The official was a little behind the play. Silas Walters, pretty good coverage here, Matt, on the back end. This will be a good look.
Looks like he's got control, but I'm not sure a body part ever came down in bounds before he touched the black.
Well, watch the legs in the lower body. He's out of bounds. And it's a little deceiving because of the paint there in the end zone. It extends around the entire red area, the red zone, from the 20 all the way down to the goal line. The black is where the out of bounds begins. So you can see the body. There he does not have possession. There's a foot on the ground. If he had possession there, it'd be a touchdown. But the lower body is up. That's not a catch.
Our replay official Don Bondi on site tonight, taking a look at this. One heck of an effort by Chance Morrow.
It's a great effort. It really is.
Only had 7 catches coming into the game tonight. Began his career at the University of Louisville. The call is overturned. It'll be 2nd and 10. Here we go.
After review, the receiver was airborne, did not have possession, and landed out of bounds. Therefore, we have an incomplete pass. It will be 2nd down and 10 at the 13-yard line.
So a touchdown wiped off the board for Chance Morrow. Miami's defense can breathe a sigh of relief and catch a little bit of a break. This is now an 11-play drive for Buffalo, which began all the way inside its own 10-yard line after the penalty on a punt.
Victor Snow is the guy right there in the slot. If I could properly telestrate.
Roberson trying to get away from trouble, and he does. Great pressure up the middle by Jackson Kuwatch, who expects to have even more of an impact on this defense due to the injury to Corbin Hondrew.
Pressure's late. It's like a green dog where the linebackers are waiting to see if the running backs stay in. They do, and then they come late. So it's a nice job, and now it brings up a very, very big 3rd and 10.
And Jason Wright, the true freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia, will come in. He has not thrown a pass yet this year, but they've liked him in the red zone and run packages. He will keep it, and he's taken down immediately in the backfield by Eli Blakey, the leading tackler on this Miami defense. And the kick unit will have to come out for Buffalo.
So Blakey's right here. Going to come off the backside, and it's just a really smart play. No one blocks him. He ends up scraping and cleaning up the mess from the backside.
Jack Howes from 33 yards. Right down the middle to give Buffalo its first lead of the game.
Well, that was an old school drive, Matt. All the way down the field. He certainly would have liked to come away with 6. But in a game where I feel like 1st to 10 might win, potentially, every point matters.
78-yard drive for Pete Lembo, 12 plays. Certainly a lot to take from that drive. It was the best looking drive for either offense so far tonight.
Well, and you think about it, it was set up by the huge play to McMillan, which was basically a great concentration play by him. It was, tipped up into the air, kind of double caught. That put him inside Miami territory, and that really, I think, galvanized that drive and got them inside the red zone. They had a touchdown that was called off the board. It was the right call. Nonetheless, the Bulls strike first.
Well, this Miami offense has struggled tonight. Their first 3 drives resulting in 3 and outs and punts. Part of it is they're going up against their old defensive wizard, Joe Bowen, who spent a handful of years with Chuck Martin, including 2 at Miami, as a linebackers coach, run game coordinator. And he's running a very similar style of defense now in year 2 at Buffalo, Dustin Fox, to what they were running at Miami in his days there.
Yeah, it's not an exotic defense. It's very much based on fundamentals and principles. They play hard, they play fast. They don't do a ton of disguise, but they pursue the football, and they got good players.
Gostkowski takes a shot downfield, has his first completion of the night, finding Cam Perry.
Cam Perry, again, continues to impress. This is a young man, Matt, who averages 25 yards a catch, which is the nation's leader with, a player that has at least 20 catches. So it's an impressive job by that young man, again, making another monster play and puts him inside Buffalo territory.
First down of the night. Thomas Gostkowski, who began the season as their 3rd string quarterback, hands it off to Jordan Brunson. Brunson has become the bell cow, of course, due to that injury to Kenny Tracy. Had been this team's leading rusher. And his 6-yard gain takes us to the end of the first quarter. Miami trying to respond after the first points of the night scored by Buffalo. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to UB Stadium in Amherst, New York. Buffalo with a 3-0 lead over Miami. Both teams still in the MAC title hunt. And the Red Hawks putting together a nice drive here with freshman quarterback Thomas Gutowski up the middle, has a first down run.
Gutowski is still yet to throw a pass in this ball game. Brought him in just to basically be that, I don't want to call him a wildcat because he's a true quarterback, but he does bring that dual threat.
First and 10 here. Back to the ground. Brunson still churning those legs. It always takes more than one hat to get to him. Now Thomas Gutowski, we were told, would likely get some reps tonight, Dustin, but more likely than not in a running game package. Seems like they found something with him here on their 4th drive of the game. First 3 drives, of course, resulted in punts. Play action, takes a shot to the end zone. It is caught, but out of bounds. They're going to say it's a touchdown for Cam Perry, but I'm not sure he got a foot down. As it stands, a 32-yard touchdown pass by Thomas Gutowski.
It's really hard, Matt, because of the paint in the back of the end zone. Let's see where he comes down. Oh, that's for sure a touchdown. His whole body was in.
I'm looking at the soccer lines out there.
Yeah, it's, you know, that's like playing tennis on a pickleball court.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
You know, they put those stupid blue lines out there on all the tennis courts.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, just don't get me started.
I don't see anything here.
No,
they're just overturn the call.
They're just having a hard time, I think, seeing where the end zone is.
As am I.
Well, we all are. That's why we hate the lines on the pickleball courts.
And he survives the ground. What a catch by Cam Perry. It'll be his 5th touchdown of the season for one of the top wide receivers in the MAC. And it will give Miami the first lead of the game for the Red Hawks.
That was a heck of a throw, Matt.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
It was a heck of a throw. Led his wide receiver perfectly for Thomas Gutowski, who had only completed 1 pass in his career prior to that touchdown to Cam Perry. And here is Dom Jobin. On to make it a 7-3 game.
Well, Cam Perry, all this young man does is catch passes for over 30 yards. And this one is a touchdown. Thomas Gutowski, touchdown Tommy.
First 3 drives for the Miami Redhawks resulted in 3 punts. They bring Thomas Gostkowski in off the bench. He leads a 5-play, 75-yard drive, capped off by a 32-yard touchdown pass to Cam Perry. That prior to this drive had not thrown a pass in his collegiate career.
You got to think, Matt, that that's going to give some confidence to Chuck Martin to allow Gostkowski to take some more chances down the field. You know, there was some concern with not having DeQuan Finn, how this offense would be able to create explosive plays.
Returned by Terrence Shelton Jr. out near the 30. Moments ago, we chatted with his head coach, Pete Lembo. What'd you make of that last drive by your offense? Went 12 plays, 78 yards, resulted in a field goal.
Yeah, it was a heck of a drive. It's too bad we didn't get 7 out of it. But the explosive plays, popped a few runs in there, flipped the field position, which obviously the field position in this game is a huge deal.
Coach Shelton started the game, but now Al-Jay Henderson gets involved. How do you plan on using those guys the rest of the way?
Yeah, we're going to continue to mix and match those guys.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
There was a 5-yard offside penalty on Miami on the kickoff. That was tacked on at the end of the run. Interestingly, we'll see Lamar Sperling in at running back for the first time tonight for Buffalo. Here he is with a carry. Sperling sifting through tacklers, picks up 8.
Sperling, a young man from Akron-Hoban, former Mr. Football in the state of Ohio, starting to get a little bit more run in this Bulls offense, especially late in the year. It's hard to keep all the running backs healthy, and so he's sort of finding a little bit of a role for him in that backfield.
Pressure off the edge, not enough to disrupt the throw. Nice catch by Nick McMillan, his 3rd of the night, and a first down for the Bulls.
McMillan is such a crafty wide receiver, Matt, and had Yarborough not been able to make that tackle, that may have been a house call.
Roberson slips out of trouble, takes a shot, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended target, McMillan again.
Again, same matchup there on the outside. Michael Yarborough, 24 in coverage. They go right back at it. Good job by Roberson. He senses the pressure. He just kind of ducks underneath of it and finds McMillan, but he's unable to secure the catch.
Remember, Roberson did not finish the game last week against CMU. Went out with an apparent injury. There were still 10 minutes left in that game. Ended up being fine. Practiced all week. Looks mobile.
He does.
After he's dealt with some ankle issues this season. Missed the UConn game at the beginning of the year. Sperling again with a nice spark off the bench here. 12:30 to go in the opening half. Buffalo's last drive went 78 yards, 12 plays, ended with a field goal after a touchdown was overturned. Trying to respond to Miami's first score on their last drive.
This is a really big 3rd down to convert here, because I do think you potentially could go for this on 4th down, but you'd like to at least make this a little bit more manageable if you're unable to pick it up on 3rd.
Snow in motion, there's a penalty, and it'll be a false start on Buffalo.
False start. Offense. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's on the left tackle, Tyrone Davis. Well, to your point, Dustin, now that becomes even more difficult to get it into that 4th and go territory.
Let's see if Miami dials up any pressure here on this 3rd and 10. And you said it, you know, Roberson he's still mobile, but he does have the ankle that he's been battling through that injury all year.
Miami does bring pressure. Roberson fails it. Ball tipped and out of play. Adam Trick with the swat. And boy, has he become a star in his 2nd year as a starter on this D-line.
He really has. I mean, he's the leader on this defense in terms of the pass rushing ability. Leads the team in sacks, TFLs, all those good things are great. But man, this guy has really turned himself into a legitimate pass rusher here on the outside.
Dylan Drennan, redshirt freshman from Dallas, Texas, on to punt it away. Billups Williams Tracking, lets it bounce, and it takes a good bounce for Buffalo. So Miami will start at its own 9-yard line. After the 42-yard punt by Dylan Drennan, a 7-3 lead for the Red Hawks on the road. Back in Buffalo, a 7-3 lead for the Miami Redhawks, thanks to Thomas Gostkowski, who Dustin really for the first time got a full drive to run this offense. He went 75 yards in 5 plays for a touchdown.
Those 2 completed passes, both to Cam Perry, both for over 25 yards, which is all Cam Perry does is make big plays. But that throw, we talked about it during the break. We're like, holy cow. I mean, that was precise. And great concentration by Cam Perry as he's having himself a nice start to this young career at Miami.
3 for 4, 63 yards and a touchdown so far tonight. Came into the game as the backup. There is Keith Reynolds, the Washington transfer, with the catch. Their first 3 drives resulted in 3 quick punts. Last drive with Gostkowski manning the controls, they just seem to have a little bit more juice. Frank Martin moving some pieces around offensively due to injuries and absences. No Daquan Finn for the rest of the season, their star quarterback. Perhaps it's Gostkowski's time. Jordan Brunson with a nice second effort to move the chains.
Brunson's a guy that has really sort of made the most of his opportunity here at Miami. Former Virginia Tech Hokie, now with the Red Hawks, and gets it done there. A big first down pickup on 2nd and 4.
Gotkowski sprinting, directing traffic. Bought enough time to get Reynolds free, but just threw it a little bit behind his wide receiver.
Matt, this was pretty impressive here by Gotkowski for a young quarterback. Watch as he rolls. He then communicates to his wide receiver, says, go, 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 move downfield. There you go. And then he throws it, and he nearly completes the pass. But that was just like kind of like drawing it up in the dirt, a little street ball, but I like that. That's good stuff right there. Not a complete pass, but still shows the moxie of this young quarterback.
Redshirt freshman from Indianapolis, won a state championship. Here's it out again, down the left sideline, and incomplete. Looking for Cam Perry, and Keontez Bradley with the coverage.
Well, Miami not being shy about putting the ball in the air, and certainly not being shy about taking shots down the field. If I'm Chuck Martin, I like what I've seen so far out of Gotkowski. And now with 3rd and 10, obvious passing situation again.
They've gotten a little bit banged up on one of his runs.
A little blood on the wrist.
This is November Maction, baby. He's playing through it.
Absolutely.
3rd and 10, 3-man rush. Gotkowski almost lost the football.
Oh my goodness.
Completed catch to Cole Weaver, and it's enough to move the chains.
Come on. What a play by Thomas Gotkowski. This should have been a sack. Somehow, he gets away from Kobe Stewart, number 0. Still ends up going to the ground, but finds his target on the outside and completes the pass to Cole Weaver, who has really stepped up the last couple of weeks too.
He's having a breakout season. Weaver has become their number 2 wide receiver after he had just 2 career catches prior to the 2025 season.
Matt, the last 3 weeks, he's 60% of their offense.
Oh, what a stop in the backfield. Gotkowski ended up pulling the football out, but Cornell Evans with the pop.
Yeah, this is very, very dangerous and could have been a fumble. It could have been disastrous for Miami. It's at the mesh point. And you'll see Cornell Evans get right in there, and Tommy takes the ball back from Brunson. Pretty good awareness, saves him, I would say, another 3 yards.
Wow, Gotkowski had to readjust the football. Second and 12. Long throw, and it's short. Had hands in his face. Was looking for Deion Colsey, the Notre Dame transfer.
Timeout for another player on the offense.
Was down on one knee, favoring that left leg. They ended up calling a timeout on the field for a quote-unquote injured player, though Perry is going to jog off under his own power. He will sit out this play, however. A 3rd and 12 for the Red Hawks.
Henry Hessen now back in the game at quarterback for the Red Hawks.
Well, he started the game as he did last week in the loss to Toledo. Had 3 interceptions. Not all of them were on him, according to Chuck Martin. There was pressure. There was a batted ball. And he's got to burn a timeout here as the play clock was under 3. And they didn't have anybody set.
Miami, their first of the half. Full media timeout.
We will take the timeout with them. Not too far down the road. A beautiful, brisk night at Niagara Falls. 7-3 Miami.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Some Buffalo Bills fans in the stands tonight here at UB Stadium.
Let's go Buffalo.
Matt Schumacher, the former Buffalo Bill. Dustin Fox. 3rd down and 12. Out of the timeout by Chuck Martin. Delayed blitz. Gostkowski. Boy, I'll tell you what, Weaver was held, and the Miami sideline wanted a flag. Keontae Bradley with a coverage, no flags.
Look at the jersey hanging off of the shoulder pads of Cole Weaver. You can see there was, I mean, I don't know how much more obvious it could be that should be a flag. I mean, that's just a missed call. Chuck Martin is not happy.
It results in the 4th punt of the night for Miami. And an end-over-end kick short by Pierce Stainton. And it's down inside the 35. Speaking of Dustin Fox, the former Buffalo Bill, played 2007, 2008. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. Remember that game?
That was the Blizzard game in Cleveland. And that was against the Giants in 07. I remember that game. And then last night, Maddie, we went to Bar Bill and had some of the best wings I've ever had in my life. My first time at Bar Bill.
And my first time having beef on weck.
You keep asking about it, like, what is this beef on what? Beef on weck. Yeah. I said, just try it, partner, and you'll thank me later.
Adam Trick with the TFL. Good to be back in Buffalo for you. A lot of good memories here.
It's a great town, Western New York, great people. Outside of the temperature, you know, I'm very happy, but it's the same climate that I live in Northeast Ohio. Maybe one day I'll get away from the frigid temps.
Also the same climate that you played in your entire collegiate and professional career.
I was a fake tough guy, though. I mean, I wouldn't wear sleeves, but I would run to the heater after the kickoff or whatever special teams I was playing. You know, I'd be, where's the jacket?
5-yard penalty.
Where's the heater?
2nd down.
Henry Tabanzi with the penalty. So after the TFL and the penalty, this is not a great start for Buffalo. Down 7-3 with 7.5 minutes to go in the opening half. And a must-win game for both teams. Still MAC title hopes alive for both programs. Last trip to the MAC title game 2020 for Buffalo. Favorite memory as a Buffalo Bill, if one in particular comes to mind?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably playing in the Blizzard game, because that was an all-time crazy game. We were in Cleveland, and we go out for pregame warmups. This is in 2007, and the Browns were really good that year. We were pretty average, and we go out for pregame warmups. We go back in, put our shoulder pads back on. We come out, there's a foot of snow on the ground.
Wow.
In 25 minutes. It was unbelievable.
Good throw from Roberson, low and incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and 16. Pass intended for Marcus Velez. Dylan Drennan on to punt it away. You said it. If you like punts, you came to the right action game tonight. Lionel Billups-Williams has some explosive ability on the back end here. Not going to get a chance to return it. Fair catching it around the 38-yard line. Well, speaking of the NFL, you can start your Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of each game. Then Monday night, 8 Eastern, Panthers, Niners. Monday Night Football on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and of course, the Manning Cast on ESPN2. Our coverage starts with NFL Live at 3 Eastern. Bryce Young having an excellent season, coming off a monster game and a losing effort in overtime to the Falcons. who will now be without Michael Penix as Keith Reynolds made the catch, and Chuck Martin just got toppled. That's a football guy right there.
It is, but you certainly are a little concerned as his coach is down. Probably
Timeout for an injury.
more stunned than anything. Hopefully he's okay.
He wasn't really that concerned, and then all of a sudden at the very end, as the play sort of spilled into the sideline, went down.
Yeah, it was Brown, Solomon Brown, who runs into Coach, and you know, Coach Martin is a war daddy. We know that, man. This guy is as tough as nails when it comes to college football coaches.
Well, good to see the old ball coach popping up.
Quick pain. I had a coach in college used to say, quick pain. Rub some dirt on it.
Played his college football at Millikan University back in the 80s. First down grab after the throw by Gutowski. Cole Weaver with the catch. Boy, they seem to have found something here with Thomas Gutowski.
I was just going to say the same thing prior to Coach Martin taking a bit of a tumble there. Even that last throw, the ball, the way it comes out of the hands of Thomas Gutowski is incredible. Like, it's a perfect spiral, which also is impressive considering the conditions tonight. Very, very chilly down there on the field. Hands are cold, all that stuff. I mean, this kid is impressed me a lot.
That is wide receiver slip, then made the catch. That's Braylon Isom with another first down grab. Now Gutowski 8 of 13 with over 100 yards passing tonight.
And boy, he's feeling himself a little bit here, and it's a positive thing. You know, getting a little bit of confidence and momentum with their offense. And look, they have really talented wide receivers. The problem has been they just haven't had a healthy quarterback to be able to get the football to those talented wide receivers. So far, pretty impressive start to this ball game.
Gutowski gonna air it out as Weaver down the sideline. Catch is made. Was he in bounds? Yes. And 2 flags came in after the contact by Kobe Blackwell.
There's contact on both sides. Cole Weaver goes up over top of the defender, Blackwell, 36. I just wonder if he maybe pushed him in the back to get the football.
Our referee, Rich Edwards.
Pass interference, defense, number 36. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It was hard to tell because the separation occurred as the ball was in the air. I mean, to me, that's...
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's take away the fact that it's not pass interference, okay. Well, it is, they call it, but I didn't think they should have called it. Is the left foot, the heel down prior to the right foot going out of bounds? That's what I see initially.
And does he possess the ball here?
Right, so I think he's got possession. But that right heel and foot comes down almost simultaneously as the heel. Boy, I don't know. I don't want to be the official to make this call.
Well, remember, the call on the field is incomplete. Initially, one of the officials coming up the far sideline ruled it complete, was overruled, I believe, by our field judge. That was part of the conversation after both flags were thrown. And before Rich Edwards got on the mic, here's another look at it from a different angle.
And because of how he's going out of bounds, it can't just be the toe. He's got to get the heel in too.
Is that right there with the ball in his hands enough to say, yes, he secured possession of the football before that right leg went down?
If you're asking me for an opinion, I think it's a catch.
At the moment, they've got the ball spotted inside the 10-yard line, which would lead us to believe that this is going to be overturned and called a completed catch. And if so, it's a 31-yard grab by Cole Weaver. Here's the call.
After review, the receiver had his left foot down with possession of the ball prior to going out of the bounds. Therefore, we have a completed pass at the 6-yard line. The foul for defensive pass interference will be declined. It'll be 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
What a catch.
What an effort.
By Cole Weaver.
And Matt, that football ball placement by Thomas Gudkowski was as good as it gets. I mean, it's at a spot where only his guy, Cole Weaver, can go catch the ball, and he makes the effort. Heck of a play.
Here's Jordan Brunson. Cut down across the 5-yard line by Red Murdoch, one of the leading tacklers in the nation again this year. Miami trailed 3-0 early in this game. Their first 3 drives resulted in 12 yards and 3 punts. Then they made the change at quarterback with Thomas Gudkowski, the redshirt freshman.
I could see him taking off in something here with the design quarterback run. Use his athleticism down here.
On the verge of leading them to 2 touchdown drives in this half. Gudkowski up the middle. Maybe got a yard, although it looks like they're going to spot him at the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 3.
Wonder how aggressive Coach Martin will be down here, and here's why. You already have a 7-3 lead. If you don't convert this, if you're able to get positive yards here, if you don't score, you know, Buffalo would take over at the 2-yard line, 1-yard line, and their defense, Miami's defense, has played so well today. Let's get through this first play.
Gudkowski will take off, and he marches in for a touchdown despite the ball coming out.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Okay. He holds the ball out.
Reached it over the plane.
The defender then knocks the ball out of his hands, but once it crosses the plane, it doesn't matter. It's over. It's a touchdown. Let's verify that it is. Yes.
And guess who it was? Red Murdoch, the all-time leader in forced fumbles in the history of FBS.
His hands are like a magnet to the football. I mean, it's really remarkable.
They won't even review it. 2 touchdown drives led in the opening half by Thomas Gudkowski, who prior to tonight had 3 rushing attempts in his career. We've seen him air it out, and just then we saw his athletic ability to extend the play and find the end zone.
What's even crazier is I got to imagine that the package that he practiced this week wasn't nearly as extensive as the package for Henry Hessen, who is the starting quarterback. And Gudkowski all season was the 3rd-string quarterback, so essentially was getting no reps. So for him to be able to come into this ball game and put together these consecutive drives and to be slinging the rock around the yard the way that he is, my goodness. Yeah, the great thing about MACtion, Matt, is you just really never know what's going to happen. Some stars are born, you know, guys become legends on the midweek MACtion, and maybe we're onto something here with Thomas Gudkowski with the start to this football game.
Well, Friday we've got a top 25 showdown in women's college basketball. Number 11 USC travels to South Bend to take on 24th ranked Notre Dame, led by the preseason player of the year in the ACC, Hannah Hidalgo. Friday, 6 Eastern on ESPN. So on the one hand, you've got the redshirt freshman Thomas Gudkowski. Probably wasn't expecting to have such a big role in this game. And on the other half, you've got a 6th-year senior in Taquan Roberson, who's looked good at times tonight and has also been inconsistent at times tonight with an interception. And a pre-snap penalty here. There's a lot of movement both ways.
False start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that's the second false start on Henry Tabanzi. And now back-to-back drives, Roberson starting behind schedule.
Interception. That's been a problem for Roberson all year. He has 10 interceptions now, Matt, on the year.
Leads the MAC at the moment. Roberson intercepted again. Pick number 2 for the Miami defense. And it's Silas Walters winning it back for the Red Hawks.
Well, they are so glad to have Silas Walters back in this secondary. Has been banged up all year, finally starting to get healthy. And watch 29 right here, just played in the flat, knows where Victor Snow's going to settle in, and the ball is thrown. That's the second time tonight, Matt, that Roberson has thrown the ball, really, I think, without even looking to see where the defender is at. Earlier in the game, it was Walker, the freshman, who comes up with an interception. Here, it's Silas Walters. This one nearly inside the red zone.
Keith Reynolds in at tailback. Powers ahead for a gain of 4 or 5. Boy, Silas Walters, what a story he's been. Began his career as a walk-on, was the walk-on player of the year 3 years ago. Put him on scholarship ahead of the 2023 season. Led the nation in special teams tackles with 13. This year was their leading returning tackler, had 95 tackles last season, and has become the leader on the back end of this Chuck Martin defense, which just always seems to step up in the month of November.
Well, look, even to last week, the loss to Toledo, their defense did everything to win the game.
No doubt.
You know, the score was not indicative of how they played defensively. They created turnovers, they got stops. They really only gave up one drive. There was, you know, a long drive. It was 50 yards for a touchdown, but that was it.
It was all the turnovers.
Correct.
Offensively.
Correct.
Tonight they've played clean football, and they have found something with the redshirt freshman Thomas Gostkowski, who has led touchdown drives on 2 of the last 3 for Miami, as they are threatening again inside the red zone in Buffalo, trying to go up 3 scores on the Bulls. Back at UB Stadium, where this fella in the white shirt looked like he was about to pull his hammy, Foxy, but he hangs on for the W on the 100-yard sprint.
Looked like Matt Schumacher out there for the Butler Bulldogs back in the early 2010s.
I can promise you I was not winning any 100-meter race back then. Gakowski's taken down in the backfield for a sack.
And it's a huge sack because it's going to back up the field goal attempt here by the Red Hawks. What an effort by
Timeout.
White.
Buffalo.
Malin
Their first
White.
of the half. 30 seconds.
With the sack.
If he doesn't lose 9 yards here, it's possible Chuck Martin decides to roll the dice and go for it on 4th down. It was not 3rd and goal, but 3rd and 4, Dustin. So if they just don't lose any yards there, Chuck Martin likes to go for it on 4th down in the red zone. Instead, 4th and 13, Dom Jobin is on for this field goal attempt of 43 yards.
You know, it's typically pretty windy here in Amherst at this stadium. Not tonight. Relatively no wind. It is cold. We know that, but this is well within the range of Dom Jobin.
First team All-MAC last year, and he puts it in. The left upright has made 10 consecutive field goals. Zubin Mehenti. Zubin, that is a very intriguing matchup out west. Oregon and USC with monster playoff implications. Talked a little bit earlier about the Oklahoma game this weekend, taking on a Missouri team that has an upset on its mind. Oklahoma, of course, stayed in the hunt with that win at Alabama. There's going to be some chaos over these final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Hey, I'm here for all of the chaos.
Well, speaking of chaos, this is usually the time of year we see it in the MAC. And look at all those 2-loss teams chasing Western Michigan, who with their win last night almost assuredly got their spot in the MAC title game in Detroit in a few weeks.
Most likely. But what's interesting about this whole scenario is Miami's lost to Toledo and Ohio. However, the tiebreaker would be going to common opponents, which would then put Miami in the MAC championship game if all three of the teams, Toledo, Miami, and Ohio, all went out, which would be wild.
Roberson, after the interception, completes the pass to Nick McMillan. There's a flag down as McMillan carries tacklers out to the 45. We will see what the whistle is. Meanwhile, there's an injured defensive player down for Miami.
This is going to be a defensive hold, which will get declined, Matt.
Holding, defense number 8. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
McMillan with 4 catches for over 50 yards tonight. And it's Adam
Timeout for the play of the defense.
Their top defensive edge rusher down behind the play.
Well, and this would be a huge loss. Trick comes right around and ends up getting rolled up by his teammate going to the ground. You can tell he's in a lot of pain, but able to walk off with his own power.
Top 5 in the MAC this year in sacks and TFLs. And Chuck Martin told us that
Buffalo has elected to have the game clock start on the snap.
Not only is Adam Trick highly sought after by power conference teams, but he is also starting to get some interest from the NFL level. Roberson takes a shot. There was a hold there, and a flag comes in late by one of our side judges. Michael Yarborough has been picked on tonight by Roberson.
This will probably go on Yarborough.
Holding. Defense, number 24. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
But there's a lot of contact by both players down the field. The hold's there. And then you can see Gaithings trying to get Yarborough off of him, and so there's more contact, but the hold was clear that it was on the defense.
And there's a miscommunication there. Roberson thought Josiah Gaithings was going to break out. Instead, he broke in. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And again, same matchup, going right back to the side where 24 is at. You said picked on. I don't like that term as a former cornerback. I mean, what do you mean picking on me? But they are going after that side.
Knowing you probably took that personal.
Well, and Yarborough is probably taking it personal right now, too, as they keep going to his side. Makes a nice play right there.
Delayed blitz. Roberson had a clean pocket. Looking for Gaithings. He was tripped up by Yarborough. No flags.
Are they picking on him, Matt?
Seems that way. Interestingly, he was their top cover corner last year until tearing his ACL week 7. The fact that he's even playing this year is remarkable, and he began the season week 1. A very quick ACL rehab, and Roberson thought there should have been a flag there.
They got tangled up. That's not going to be called for pass interference down the field.
So it brings up 3rd and 10. Will they go there for a 3rd consecutive time? No, it's a quick slant to Victor Snow. And a solid gain. Does that make Pete Lembo think about going for it here? And he's going to keep his offense on the field.
1,000%. You're down 2 scores. You're inside Miami territory. They've got time to substitute here. The clock is still moving.
All 3 timeouts still for both teams. Should Buffalo extend this drive, they'll have plenty of time, you would think, to get to the end zone. And now Miami's going to burn a timeout. And I beg your pardon, Buffalo does only have 2 timeouts remaining.
30 seconds.
And now Miami down to their final. Fourth and 2. Where are you going here, Foxy, if you're Buffalo?
It's a tough proposition because I would typically say you'd go to the ground game, but they haven't had much success at all on the ground. Their best players are on the outside. So to me, I would look for a free release on a wide receiver, which would be the slot, and typically that slot is Victor Snow, who is probably the best slot receiver in this conference. So if you ask me where I'm going, I'm probably going to number 0.
He's the one who had the last catch for a gain of 8 to put them in this position to go for it on 4th down. To your point about the run game, we have a combined 28 yards rushing tonight. Terrence Shelton in at tailback. Stops the blitz. Roberson takes off. Just gets enough for the first down.
And boy, did he just barely get it based on the spot. He had Victor Snow open over the middle, but decides to take off and go, and probably a wise decision. Knew he could get it, but now the clock continues to run.
Miami defense wasn't even totally set there. Roberson gets taken down in the backfield by Jackson Pond.
Now you got to call timeout, and they do.
Timeout, Buffalo. Their 3rd and final of the half.
Matt, they're about 5 yards away from the range where they feel comfortable with Jack Howes. Coach told us this week that they feel good inside of 50. Let's go back and take a look at this last play as tries to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That is Buffalo's 2nd timeout of the half.
Thank you for that. So 2nd and 11, plenty of time. You have got 1 timeout left, Matt, so you can still work the middle of the field. And earlier this year, Jack Howes did hit a 50 against EMU.
Pete Lembo told us they'd love to get him to the 32-yard line. They are not far off of Jack Howe's target line, just a couple of yards. Pressure again from Miami. Roberson escapes, has a pocket to run. Roberson inside the 15 and ducks it down after a monster gain of 24. Longest run of the night for the starting Buffalo quarterback.
That is the problem when you do a zero blitz, which means all the defenders are in man coverage in the back end with no middle of the field help, and you blitz everybody.
Roberson takes a shot to the end zone, has a man in the corner, and incomplete. He was looking for Patrick Clax III. Not the worst thing in the world as it stops the clock with 24 seconds.
So you can see all the pressure, right? And then when that opens up, you see there's no defenders in the secondary that even are aware that Roberson has escaped the pocket because they're all in that trail technique, playing man coverage down the field. So it's a dangerous call. You're happy about it if the pressure gets home. There it didn't, and Roberson made them pay.
Another long drive developing here for Buffalo. 10 plays. Remember, they had a 12-play drive in the first quarter that resulted in just a field goal. Roberson again caught inside the 10. Clock continues to wind.
I think you have to use that last timeout now. And you probably should have called it immediately when he caught the pass and landed.
Buffalo, their third and final timeout of the half.
Because you could have had another 4 seconds on the clock.
So
game clock
3rd
operator,
and 6.
Please reset the game clock to 17 seconds.
And they will give him the timeout with 17 seconds. So 3rd and 6. You get a first down here. Even if you're inbounds, the clock will stop briefly to reset the chains. How do you play these next 17 seconds? Is a field goal even in play here if you're Buffalo?
It is, but you have to have the guys ready on the sidelines. And if you look at Buffalo's sidelines, you can see the special teams unit ready to go. And obviously, it's got to be a fast operation. It's tough. I mean, in the NFL, we used to practice it all the time. I mean, guys would literally, they could get it off in a like 17 seconds, it'll be tight. Now, if they get a first down, they can get up there and spike the ball.
Of course, an incomplete pass would allow the special teams unit to come on with the clock stopped. End zone shot. Snow caught it. Was he in bounds? Yes, it's a touchdown. Unbelievable. Victor Snow climbing the ladder. And Buffalo with a response to make it a one-score game before halftime.
This is an incredible effort. They'll definitely take another look at this. And because of, like you said, those soccer lines, I get screwed up thinking, where's his foot at? And Silas Walters, who has pretty good coverage, cannot get his hand on the football. And they do confirm it, so it's a touchdown. Wow, great effort by Victor Snow. And a heck of a throw, but Matt, an even better response by Roberson, who's thrown 2 pretty horrendous interceptions in this game.
Second effort got it. Nonetheless, it's going to be Bulls football. We come back. What a turnaround.
Good to look at that as the line judge on his sideline. And when we went to break, was pleading his case for them to take a look at it. Don Bondi, our replay official, had ample time to review, did not feel it was worthy of additional reviews. And so Buffalo takes over on downs. Great starting field position. Roberson rolling. Dart is caught by Snow. This is a different quarterback we are seeing over the last 3 drives in Taquan Roberson, a gain of 25.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. On the move and just throws a dime. between 3 defenders. And they're playing with a little bit of pace and tempo here as they certainly are trying to seize all of this momentum.
They have scored 14 unanswered in response to Miami's 17 unanswered to go up 17-3. Roberson, end zone, and just out of the reach of Chance Morrow. If you're just joining us, Taquan Roberson had 2 picks in the first half, and had Chance Morrow not stumbled out of his break, he might have had a touchdown.
He was wide open. Frankly, it was not a stumble. It was a double move, and it was on purpose. Roberson just missed the throw.
That graphic says it all. Last 3 drives, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. For 6 drives, just 100 yards and 2 turnovers. 2nd and 10. Bubble screen. Victor Snow with that 4.4 speed is now inside the 15-yard line.
And this was such a perfect call, and he gets a great block on the outside by Chance Morrow. And then it was just a one-on-one in open field, and Victor Snow's going to win that all day.
Oh, ball gets away
goodness.
from Roberson all the way back to the 40.
Wow.
A mistake.
Now, Matt, that nearly happened on the opening drive of the game as they're trying to hurry so much. You wonder, as you get a look at the center, James Carrington.
Wow, that's a loss of 23 yards. They were on the doorstep of the 10-yard line.
Matt, just a poor snap.
Here's Al-Jay Henderson on the stretch play, turning it upfield.
Well, now you're worried about just getting it back inside of
field goal range.
Manageable field goal range, yeah.
32-yard line is where Pete Lembo told us they would really like to have the football for Jack Howes, the former starting kicker for Maryland. They're at the 32 right now. Would they feel comfortable at this point in the game, assuming they don't gain any yards here, bringing them out for a potential game-leading field goal?
Well, if they don't get something positive here, I mean, you have to at least attempt the field goal, I think.
There's Henderson trying to get a few more yards. He gets inside the 30.
Yeah, you're going to attempt the field goal. I mean, this is 4th in Rochester here, so you've got to bring on your kicker.
What a costly mistake by the center, James Carrington. The ball was on the 15-yard line, and Buffalo's drive was really picking up steam, and now instead the ball spotted at the 29. After a loss of 23 yards, it'll be a 48-yard attempt for Howes. Season long is 50. Howes right down Main Street to give Buffalo its first lead since it was 3-zip. Pete Lembo's team has scored 17 unanswered in Amherst.
College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
You can catch every playoff game on our ESPN family of networks. Tulane, the big change this week in the bracket based on the most up-to-date top 25 college football rankings. Remember, last week it was South Florida, then South Florida lost to Navy. And so Tulane right now, the projected highest ranked group of 5 champion to get that 12 seed.
Don't ask head coach at Tulane, John Sumrall, about whether or not they belong in the top 12, let alone the top 25.
He said if we're in the top 25, there's a lot of average football teams
Coach
out there.
Sumrall is a funny dude and a great coach, and we had a chance to call their opener against Northwestern, and you know, obviously that program's had a nice year, nice few years really, and boy, they are a good football team. They certainly belong there.
Had a couple of Power 4 wins early against Northwestern and Duke. Hey, coming up on Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern out in Vegas, the Grand Prix takes center stage with F1 on the Strip. Pre-race coverage begins at 10 Eastern. You can catch all the action on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and of course, the all-new ESPN app. All right, Miami all of a sudden finds itself down 3 after scoring 17 unanswered. They've now given up 17 unanswered. And it's a 20-17 lead for Buffalo. Here's Brunson breaking tackles. Jordan Brunson in a foot race. Cutting it back upfield. And he's finally brought down inside the 15 after a gain of 60.
Big run for Miami, rumbling down to the 15-yard line. Stadium.
I love the PA announcer inside the stadium just said rumbling as he rumbles 60 yards. Great description exactly of what Jordan Brunson just did.
Fake it to him. And here's Cole Weaver inside the 10-yard line. Miami can get another first down before it's goal to go. The marker is just ahead of the 5-yard line.
And something happened here over the last, I don't know, hour of real time, because these teams couldn't do anything. This game kicked off at about 7 o'clock, Matt. So basically from 7 to, I don't know, 8:15. It was like punt, 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 and now all of a sudden it's top 10 Sports Center plays every drive.
Jones up the middle is in for a touchdown. 5th touchdown of the year for the redshirt freshman from Cleveland, Ohio. And Miami takes the lead back.
Well, I could not have read this game more wrong prior to the game. I thought it'd be like a, 16-13 type of ball game, and here we are. Plenty of time left in the third, and Miami looking to tack on one more to make it 24-20.
Dom Jobin on for the point after. Excellent field goal kicker, first team All-MAC last year. Does make it a 4-point lead for the Redhawks. A good old MACtion back and forth battle in the penultimate week of MAC play. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. Miami, who scored 17 unanswered, then gave up 17 unanswered, coming off a touchdown drive to regain the lead. Matt Schumacher, the former Buffalo Bill, Ohio State Buckeye Dustin Fox, in a matchup that has a whole lot of meaning for both teams. Both 4-2 in the conference, well within the hunt to get to the MAC title game in a couple of weeks in Detroit. Speaking of the MAC title game, Buffalo's last trip in 2020, they lost to the Ball State Cardinal, who found themselves in the top 20 in the AP poll that season. Northern Illinois won it all in 2021. Toledo Rockets won it in 2022. Then in 23, Miami defeated Toledo and then lost last year to the Ohio Bobcats. The Red Hawks trying to get back to Detroit for the third straight season under Chuck Martin, the winningest head coach in Miami football history. Lamar Sperling in it, running back. Here's Roberson, just had to kill it as he felt the pressure by Nasir Washington.
Well, and Eli Blakey did such a good job of getting in the passing window because they were looking to find McMillan on the outside, and he was open. I mean, there was a lot of cushion, but because the coverage by Blakey, he ends up moving right in that window, and Roberson had to tuck the football.
What a career Eli Blakey has had from Louisville, Kentucky. Has spent all 5 years of his career at Miami, a 2-year starter and their leading tackler. Sperling gains about 5.5 to make this third and manageable. Sperling part of a 3 running back rotation tonight for Buffalo. Roberson, boy, has he looked totally different over these last 3 or 4 drives for the Bulls, 2 of which have led to touchdowns. Two picks.
There's the corner
in the game.
You're looking at the matchup where they've been going all day to that side.
He looked that way, felt the pressure, and again just had to kill it to avoid the sack. And the punt unit, for the first time in this half, will come onto the field for Buffalo. Devin Bell with the pressure. Well, Dustin, you talked about it. It's not the most exotic defense for Bill Brecken in Miami, but it's a defense that works.
Because half the battle with defense is just doing the fundamental stuff well. Running to the ball, pursuit, tackling, getting guys on the ground, forcing fumbles, creating turnovers. That's exactly what Miami does. They're 28th in the nation with a +6 turnover margin. So they're really good at getting the football back to their offense. And, frankly, they've done a good job all year. They had a 5-0 streak this year, Matt, the Red Hawks did. They started the season 0-3, then they go 5-0 over the next 5, and then kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch, some injuries, all those things that have been well documented. But now, even with the rough patch that they've had, they still have a chance if they win this game and win next week against Ball State at home, which is a game they'll be favored in. They could get themselves back to Detroit.
Play action. Gutkowski taking a shot downfield and incomplete. He was looking, I believe, for Cam Perry. And Solomon Brown, their starting safety, had good coverage.
Ball was just a little underthrown, and boy, there was a lot of contact there on Reynolds by the safety, Solomon Brown.
Well, they've tried to get Keith Reynolds more involved tonight, lining him up in the slot, lining him up out wide, and even in the backfield because of his versatile playmaking ability. Now 2nd and 10. And that goes to Gutkowski on the outside, and that is enough to move the chains.
What a play design here by the Red Hawks, and a really smart call by Gutkowski. Keeps the ball, comes out the backside. Everybody on Buffalo thought that that Brunson had the football, and Gostkowski is at the first down line to gain. I really like this young quarterback, Matt. I've done a lot of MAC games, and it's fun to see a quarterback you think that could be a really good player in this league.
Took a shot there. Kobe Stewart, who last year had 9.5 sacks. It was the most in the MAC since Khalil Mack. And got right into the grill of Gostkowski on that 1st and 10.
I mean, that talk about, you got to win a one-on-one matchup. That's what Kobe Stewart does, right in the middle of that offensive line, and ends up getting home. And luckily for Miami, he was able to get rid of the football and not take a sack, or worse, a sack fumble.
Play action, quick throw. Boy, the defender was right there to make the stop. It was Miles Greer coming in like a missile.
Yeah, but for Miami, also the ball was a missile. I mean, that thing was a fastball that had to be delivered on time because Miles Greer was there in such a hurry.
A little bit of tempo here for Miami. Quick snap, goes to the ground. And not nearly enough for the first down, despite a positive gain. Does Miami think about rolling the dice here on 4th and 3 at midfield?
I don't think you do now. You got the lead.
I gotta bring the punt unit out.
I think you punt this football. And you know me, I'm a riverboat gambler by trade. I also think sometimes you have to be smart and try to pin Buffalo deep. They've had 3 great drives back to back that have put points on the board. I would bet on my defense here to try and hold them.
Staten's punt a beauty. Tight spiral, fair caught by Victor Snow at his own 11-yard line. Well, Saturday in the SEC is a big one. Triple header on ABC. Starts first with Oklahoma and Missouri, then Arkansas trying to upset Texas before a monster showdown with A&M in the last week of the regular season. Then it's Tennessee and Florida in a rivalry showdown at 7:30. All games available on the new ESPN app. And for Oklahoma, Dustin, that win last week against Alabama has kept the Sooners' hopes alive to make the CFP.
You've been following this Sooners club all year, and you're a fan.
I like John Mateer a lot.
How do you not?
He's been through a lot. Transfer quarterback. And early in the season, he was in the conversation for the Heisman. He, of course, has that injury to his throwing hand, requires surgery. He battles back, takes an L, and then somehow has found his footing again, and Sooners are right back into the race.
Look out. Brett Venables and that club have really made some noise in the SEC, and certainly, Mateer. I mean, I didn't really know much about this young man until they played the Wolverines early in the year. I'm like, This guy's a baller.
4-man rush, time for Roberson, incomplete. He was looking for Josiah Gathings, and it was Mikel Yarbrough, who often tonight has been picked on, making a nice play in coverage. Young man coming off ACL surgery in the middle of last season. Rehabbed quickly, got back for the opener this year for Miami, and has been their starting corner all season.
They've targeted that side of the field that he's been on no less than about 8 or 9 times in this ball game alone.
Good play by him to make it 3rd and 10. Roberson looked that way initially, now dumps it underneath to his tight end. It's short of the line to gain. On the catch by Marcus Velez. Eli Blakey was there for the stop, and the punt unit is back on for the 2nd consecutive drive for Buffalo.
Chuck Martin's proven right by punting the ball. He'll get the ball back for his offense, probably with pretty good field position.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs by this Miami defense after giving up 17 unanswered. Lionel Billups-Williams will return this. Finds a seam. Billups-Williams with room to run. One man to beat. And he's taken out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. excellent return with the punt unit bearing down for Buffalo.
This is just such a great job of getting north and south. That's what they teach you as a punt returner. They always said, if you can just get the first 10 yards, it's like getting your offensive first down. Well, how about getting more than a first down? How about an explosive play that puts the football near the red zone for your offense?
45-yard punt return for Billups Williams. They had excellent starting field position for Thomas Gostkowski, who prior to tonight had not thrown a pass in college football. Tonight he's completed 11 for 150 yards and a touchdown. Fakes the pitch. Down the sideline. Weaver. Did he make the catch? Unbelievable.
He caught that?
Wow. And one with the flag.
Holy cow. What
Pass
an effort.
interference. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
This is ridiculous.
Correction. It was a completed pass. The penalty will be declined. First down.
Well, I promise you this much. You know, the folks at SportsCenter, the producers there, oh, they got an easy job. All your top 10 plays are in this game. It's unbelievable,
We have
Matt.
seen some remarkable catches tonight. Cole Weaver had 2 catches in his career. Prior to this season, he's become the number 2 target this season for the Red Hawks. Heavy formation. Deshaunte Jones, already 1 rushing touchdown tonight in a tailback. It goes to Jones, and he plows ahead for another score. And Miami goes up 2 scores yet again.
Touchdown, Red Hawks.
All set up by that 45-yard punt return from Lionel Billups Williams. 2 plays later, a touchdown for Miami.
Man, Deshaunte Jones. Is that dude a unit or what? 5'10", 250.
Bulldozer.
Lord have mercy. The tar blooder from Glenville High School.
6 rushing touchdowns this year for the former 3-star recruit who had multiple Power 4 offers, but just felt like he had a home with Chuck Martin in Miami, knew he would get opportunities early in his career. And speaking of redshirt freshmen, Thomas Gostkowski hooking up with his redshirt sophomore, Cole Weaver. It's all the underclassmen tonight for Miami with all the changes that their offense has gone through over the course of the season. Losing their lead rusher, Kenny Tracy, to an ACL. DeQuan Finn out for the rest of the year. Right tackle, Drew Terrell, not in action tonight.
Matt, there are 4 wide receivers, at least in this game tonight alone, that could be playing in the SEC or the Big Ten or you name it. I mean, big time players making big time plays.
How about the DBs showing these wide receivers all this love tonight?
I mean, listen, where credit's due, I'm going to give it. These guys have made amazing plays. And what's even more amazing is they're doing it in these frigid conditions, like making one-handed catches. I can barely feel my fingertips in the booth, and I've got heaters up here. Let's go inside the foxhole. How about all the catches? Just one after the other. They're all SportsCenter top 10, I think. I mean, look at these catches. Yeah, pass interference, no problem. Yeah, that's easy. One hand, no problem. Falling backwards, great coverage. No, got it. One hand. Yep, give me that. It's unbelievable.
By the way, if we're going into the foxhole with you, I'm going to need you to toughen up a little bit with these conditions out here.
Easy, easy.
Feels like 26 right now in Buffalo. Good spin cycle by Terrence Shelton Jr. That might take us to the 4th quarter.
I'll tell you what's not cold is those hot wings waiting for us after the game at Elmo's.
You still have room for that, huh?
Still have
After
room.
last night,
I didn't eat today. I've been saving up for it tonight, partner.
One final play of the third quarter. Roberson buying time, zips it out. McMillan, that was a dangerous pass. Eli Blakey there to break it up, brings up third down.
The end of the third quarter.
When we return for the start of the fourth quarter in Buffalo. Home team has won the last 7 in this meeting, but it's the road Redhawks with an 11-point lead and a chance at the MAC title well within reach for both clubs. Back at UB Stadium, start of the fourth quarter, third down for the Buffalo Bulls, who at one point had taken a lead in this half. Miami has come storming back with back-to-back unanswered scores, and Roberson goes down. A sack for Adam Trick. His second of the game. And the punt unit is out again for Buffalo.
Adam Trick, you can see right here, going to come off the edge, and it's just an easy sack. I mean, he was in the game earlier, leaves the game, comes back with a little bit of an injury, looks totally fine now. What a play.
This defense has really bowed up for Miami. They gave up 17 unanswered points at one point between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, Dustin. And since then, Chuck Martin, Bill Brecken and company have turned this thing around, and now Miami has a chance to potentially go up 3 scores in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think that it's one of these deals where Chuck Martin's teams have an identity, and they're able to respond in a way that most teams can't. You know, there's Bill Brecken, the defensive coordinator, doing a tremendous job as well. Got to give him some love because his defense is playing very, very well. But to the identity of this team, like, they got punched in the mouth by Buffalo. Buffalo takes the lead, 17 unanswered, and Miami has responded.
Gostkowski down the sideline was looking for Weaver. There was contact, but no flag. Keontez Bradley in coverage.
Well, and Matt, how about this? You know, you're up 11 points. 14 minutes to go in the game, and you're throwing first down, which tells me all you need to know about what this team thinks about this young quarterback, making really his first full-time action of the year. Didn't start the game, but he's been phenomenal in some relief duty. Henry Hessen also playing, but the point is, I mean, they're being aggressive here in this game. They're not being conservative at all.
Well, it was only a matter of time for Thomas Gostkowski. Redshirted last year, but Chuck Martin is a big fan, not just of his talent, but his leadership ability. A 2-time captain and state champ at Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis. Was the Marion County Player of the Year as a senior, and has just come out firing on all cylinders tonight. Pair of touchdowns for the redshirt freshman. He will keep, and is crunched out across the 45-yard line by the Harvard transfer Mitchell Gonser. And now does Chuck Martin keep his offense on the field? Ball on their side of the 50, 4 yards to get the first down.
Nah, you got to punt the ball. He was here just moments ago and did the exact same thing, thought about it for 2 seconds, and then brings out the punter.
So a good stand by Buffalo. Keeps their team in it. Pete Lembo's club coming off a loss to CMU. Felt like their defense did everything they could to keep them in a position to win the game. Their offense just turned it over too many times. Tonight they've turned it over twice, but none so far in the second half. They will get the football when we return. Try to put a drive together and make this a one-score game again in Buffalo.
Well, disruptive and violent are two words that I'd use to describe Adam Trick, the stud pass rusher for the Miami Redhawks, who's had himself a monster game. 3 tackles, tackle for loss, sack, doing it all, creating havoc in the backfield for Taquan Roberson and the Buffalo Bulls. Big part of the reason why Miami has a 31-20 lead, Matt, here in the fourth quarter.
False start on the Bulls. We'll back them up
Ball
slightly.
start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, he came into the night with 6.5 sacks, good for top 15 in the country. And he is on a lot of people's radar at the next level with still football to play. Roberson from inside his own 5. A shot here on first down, has a man, and it is broken up on the back end, intended for Nick McMillan. And Caleb Martin made the play in the secondary.
That ball hung in the air forever. And this is what allowed Caleb Martin to get his head turned around and try to make a play. The ball actually goes through the hands of Martin, and McMillan nearly comes up with a catch.
So 2nd and 15 for a Buffalo team that's punted it on 3 consecutive possessions. Roberson feeling the heat, escapes, and turns that into a positive gain before being crunched at the 15.
Boy, that's a heck of an effort by Roberson, because this was nearly a sack in the backfield, and then he's able to escape the pressure by Miami and takes off and picks up a nice gain that really allows them to have even a manageable third down. 3rd and 7 upcoming. How many pre-snap penalties on Buffalo tonight?
Offense,
wow.
Number 51. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That is their 5th. And it's on Tyrone Davis, his 2nd. So it goes from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12.
That's 25 yards. It totally disrupts the start of a drive.
How many more possessions will Buffalo's offense get here with less than 12 minutes to go in the game? Down 2 scores. Roberson takes a shot. What an effort by Gathings. He was out of bounds and incomplete regardless. Good coverage by Yarborough. These wide receivers could not possibly give more effort tonight for Buffalo than they already have.
Such a great point. They are giving great effort. I mean, these balls are really tough to catch. I mean, this is put where his guy can get it, and he would have to make an unbelievable catch, and nearly does. But you're right, Yarborough is there, and he has been targeted a ton tonight, and frankly, I think he's held up.
Watch out for Lionel Billups-Williams. Already a 45-yard punt return tonight. This one was lined right to him at the 45, and so Miami will get the football in plus territory for the 3rd time tonight. They've scored on the other 2, up 11.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Last year, Miami of Ohio, after losing in the MAC championship game, put it on Colorado State in the Snoop Dogg Bowl, 43-17. Chuck Martin, with a win tonight, can be bowl eligible for the 5th consecutive season. What he continues to do year in and year out in Oxford, Ohio, is really quite amazing, because there's constant turnover, as you well know, Dustin, at this level.
Well, Matt, and he's done it pre-NIL, post-NIL, and that's a great run by Gutkowski to pick up the first down. But through all of it, he's been here since 2014. Ironically enough, the last time they won at Buffalo was 2014. And he is the longest tenured coach in the conference, along with Chris Creighton, who also took over at EMU. And frankly, Creighton's done a tremendous job too. Candle's been at Toledo forever. Took over after Matt Campbell moved on. And Thomas Hammock's done a terrific job with NIU, but those programs had success prior to him taking over.
There's Brunson up the gut. He's had a nice night, including a 60-yard run, setting up a touchdown at the beginning of this half for Miami. It was his longest run of the season. And he began the year as their number 3 running back behind Kenny Tracy, who tore his ACL in the MAC opener, behind Josh Ringer, former Mr. Indiana football a couple of years ago, who dealt with an ankle injury in that same game. So they gave the football to Brunson. He rushed it 20 times for 80-plus yards. RB1 has been his spot since.
Waited a long time to be the RB1, and never know when that opportunity is going to knock, and he has certainly taken the most out of that opportunity.
King Perry, who's been quiet in the second half, with a nice effort to move the chains. And Miami threatening here to potentially put this game out of reach, with just 10 minutes left in the game and the time winding down. Not on Buffalo's side here. Brunson again, picks up 4.
And it's a huge drive for Buffalo's defense to hold them to 3. If obviously they get a touchdown, it becomes a 3-score game. And I just don't know how many possessions are left for the Bulls offensively. Man, what an effort they had to come out the gate in the second half. It just, things got away from there at the second half of the third quarter.
Took a 20-17 lead in the second half. It's been all Miami since. And now 3rd and 7.
That ball was batted at the line.
Well, you'd love to hold Miami to a field goal here, keep it a 2-score game. If you're Buffalo, what do they dial up defensively? Does Red Murdoch get involved? The top linebackers in the country.
Miami's offense just 20% on 3rd downs tonight. They've not been good all year at 35%, but Buffalo's defense has really bowed up on 3rd down tonight.
Josh Ringer in the backfield with Gutkowski, and some movement up front. It's going to be a false start on the left guard, Greg Smith, I believe.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Oh, they actually got the tight end, Brian Shane. A lot of people moving on that line for Miami. It goes from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12. Ball spotted just inside the 25-yard line, well within field goal range for Dom Jobin.
Will they keep it on the ground? No, they won't.
Gostkowski buying time, keeps it himself. Smart decision to hang on to the football with Red Murdoch bearing down. And now 4th and 8.
Great point by you. It is a smart decision by Gostkowski to tuck the ball, keep it on the ground, don't force an incompletion. Clock continues to run. You never know. Those 40 seconds could be crucial at the end of a game, as Miami will try to make it a 14-point game.
Well, Dom Jobin has already hit once tonight from 43. This will be from 37. He's connected on 10 consecutive field goals. Just got the snap off. Jobin's kick is good, tucking it inside the upright to make it a 14-point game. But a great stop by Buffalo's defense with its back against the wall. Pete Lembo's team with life still. 8:04 to go in the game.
Welcome back to Buffalo, where this fan is an absolute war daddy, Matt Schumacher.
Battling the elements, feels like 26. Multiple jackets, by the way. I can appreciate the layer game.
Hello. Plenty of good seats available in his section. Party of one.
Great view for my man behind one of the end zones. You're at UB Stadium, which was built for the World University Games back in 1993, a full-size track around the stadium. Now, who wore it better, Dustin Fox or my man in section 205?
I don't know, man. I like my Trapper hat. You know where I got that hat? Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, at Groundhog Day last year at the celebration.
It screams Punxsutawney. And the movie Groundhog Day.
Great movie. Look out for that first step. It's a doozy.
Incomplete, intended for Gathings.
Ned Ryerson? Sure. Where are we at?
There's that Trapper hat.
Hey, everybody.
You can tweet at Dustin Fox to find out where you can purchase such a hat as winter is coming.
Found it at a little boutique in downtown Punxsutawney. It actually came with a little groundhog like pin on the front.
Oh, you didn't just grace us with that tonight?
I took it off like, outside of the holiday. I'll put it back on for next year.
Thank goodness. 3rd and 10 for Buffalo and Taquan Roberson. Felt the heat, delivered a bullet. Now this is interesting. Does Pete Lembo think about rolling the dice here to get 4 yards and extend the drive?
I think you have to. And it's not even a question. You're down 2 touchdowns. I mean, if you punt this football away, you're all but conceding the game to Miami.
Need 4 yards. And they get it. Victor Snow, the sure-handed former walk-on who began his career at Nevada, earned a scholarship last year, keeps the drive alive for the Bulls.
4th and 5. No problem. Victor Snow knows exactly where to be, runs the route beyond the line to gain, and a well-thrown football by Roberson to keep the drive alive and keep the game alive.
7 catches, nearly 100 yards, and a touchdown for Snow. Less than 7 minutes to play. 14-point game. Roberson underneath, caught. Gathings. Time continuing to tick away.
I think on one of these next plays, they've got to take a shot. And really, the area that they've been targeting has been over here with Yarbrough.
Looking that way. Roberson will take a shot underneath. Coming across the field is Snow, and now he's up over 100 yards receiving tonight.
They have a plethora of weapons here at Buffalo.
Roberson in trouble, lost the football. And the offensive line of Buffalo, Tyler Doty, their right guard, got on top of it. Josh Lacusa might have gotten a paw on this.
Well, he was around the football, but I think it was actually inside. It may have been Jaden Fuller, 50, who got a hand on the football.
Makes it 2nd and 19. Adam Trick. No, the ball is out. And Roberson thought he was down, but they're going to say it's Miami football, and Grant Lyons got the football out. And Roberson is dumbfounded.
He was trying to, I think,
on the field,
throw the ball away.
Pass.
Well, and was it grounding? Was there a receiver in the area? I think there was. Right? Well, he may have been down. That may actually come back to be a sack.
Still has control of the football in his hand.
That should be a sack.
3rd and 19. Roberson, boy, he was pressured again. That time it was Adam Trick. And it makes it 4th and forever for Buffalo.
Matt, the get off by Adam Trick on this last play is just remarkable. Watch how fast he gets off the line of scrimmage and gets in there and nearly gets the football out. This young man has some big time ability. I think Sunday ability.
He's been a game wrecker tonight. Multiple tackles in the backfield. 4th and 19. And the cavalry comes and takes him down. Kuwach with the sack. And that might seal the deal at UB Stadium. This Miami defense completely flipped the script. After giving up 17 unanswered points, trailing 20-17, they have given Roberson zero breathing room since.
When a team becomes one-dimensional, it becomes easier if you're defensive coordinator Bill Brecken. And they're dialing up the right calls, and you've got number 20 out there who requires a lot of attention. And like on that play, they twisted Adam Trick all the way around, and it sort of disguised what they were doing, and it allowed everybody else to get home, including 33 Kuwach.
Timeout. Buffalo. Their first of the half. 30 seconds. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 5 minutes and 31 seconds.
You said it earlier tonight. Miami has not won at UB Stadium since 2014, which was Chuck Martin's first year as the head coach at Miami. His team trailed at one point by 3 at the beginning of this half. But now they lead it by 2 scores with a chance to salt this game away and put themselves in position at 5-2 going into the final week of the regular season against Ball State to make a 3rd consecutive trip to the MAC championship game in Detroit. Second and 10 with Jones. Their power back in the backfield. Back to him. Up the middle. Jones with a first down.
That's sort of like a game-sealing type of run right there, Matt, because we're talking about a young man who's 250 pounds at 5'10", and just rumbling and stumbling and bumbling. And now that Buffalo, they started to use the timeouts, probably a little too late. And Miami is just looking to tick, 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 tick this away.
At this point, if you're the Bulls defense, you need a takeaway. They'd opt not to use a timeout here. Josh Ringer now the running back. It goes to the Mr. Indiana football recipient. And now Pete Limbo calls timeout.
Timeout. Buffalo. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Thank you.
So, I lived in Buffalo for 2.5 years, Matt, when I played for the Bills, and obviously had a chance to eat a lot of amazing chicken wings here in the city. And frankly, there's some of the best places to go to find wings are not the most famous places. There's us yesterday at Bar Bill, and you had your first beef on weck, and I had some amazing wings. Those Cajun spicy barbecue. Apparently they're Josh Allen's favorite, I'm told. But tonight, we're going to go to Elmo's. Are you excited?
I'm not sure anything can compare to last night, but I'm open-minded.
Did you like the beef on weck?
The beef on weck was a 10 out of 10, and I'm a first-timer.
Yeah. I mean,
my favorite part of the beef on weck was the side of horseradish that they allowed you to spread yourself, which I think is important because some people don't like a whole lot of horseradish.
30 seconds.
Personally,
please reset the game
I enjoy a heavy
to 4
dose
minutes and
of
35
horseradish.
seconds.
Yeah, I'm not like a heavy dose of horseradish guy. I did like the au jus.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
And something else I learned on my first trip to Buffalo
was
they put honey on sweet potato fries here in the city of Buffalo.
I just
delicious.
Unfortunately, I just can't get into sweet potato fries.
That's a shame.
I know.
You're missing out.
Probably am.
There we go. What else screams Maction than being shirtless in 26-degree weather?
How about all those shirtless bandits down at ECU this weekend? We called ECU Memphis on Saturday night. It was a great game, and it turned into a little viral moment there with about 5,000 shirtless dudes cheering on their Pirates.
3rd and 8 here at UB Stadium. Buffalo out of timeouts. Miami trying to salt this away. Jones is strung out and stacked up. Deion Crawford, one of the most dynamic defensive players in the nation, made the stop. And now what does Chuck Martin decide to do here?
There's no question. You bring on the field goal unit and you look to make it a 3-score game.
He's pretty heated at his offensive line. He's going to keep the offense on the field. Maybe just to run this time down, call a timeout, let Dom Jobin come out. This is inside his field goal range. 54 is where Chuck Martin feels like he tops out in a game.
This is what, about 48?
He's well inside that 54. We saw him at warm-ups off the tee.
Miami
hitting field goals from the 45-yard line. Now, obviously, an in-game situation with a human holder is a little bit of a different story. But this is Dom Jobin pregame just blasting 55-yard field goals. I mean, that would have been good from 60.
I mean, that was like a pitching wedge from like 60 yards. Made it look easy.
This one's from 48 or 49. His career long's 51. He has made 11 consecutive field goals. Young man who was a finalist for the Lou Groza Award a season ago, and officially a 49-yarder from the left hash for Dom Jobin to make it a 3-score game. It is up and away and right down the middle. 3 for 3 tonight. And if you know anything about Chuck Martin football, he is a monster fan of good special teams, and over the years has produced some of the top kickers in the country. Dom Jobin, no different. Now 12 straight field goal makes for the former first-team All-MAC recipient. And Miami's had some big plays on the ground and in the pass game in the second half, Dustin.
Yeah, this is a 60-yard run by Brunson. Then you see Deshaunte Jones capping off that drive. Cole Weaver on the outside, one-hander, no problem, NPI. That's like an and one. Jones again, second touchdown of the game. And here we are, 37 points for the Miami Redhawks. And Matt, this offensive explosion is the most they've had since October 18th, where they put up 44 against EMU. And they're doing it all with their second and third string quarterback. You know, they always say November is for contenders, Matt. And Chuck Martin's clubs have always played well this time of year. And I don't want to be a Ball State Cardinal next week. And I certainly don't want to be a Western Michigan Bronco in Detroit if you've got to face Chuck Martin and his club.
Well, his team has been in Detroit each of the last 2 seasons. Rashad Amos, one of their star running backs a couple of years ago, had a monster rushing game at the end of the regular season against Buffalo to get them into the championship. And they had 2 more rushing touchdowns in Detroit. Last year they made it back to Detroit, lost to Ohio. And now this season with a win here tonight, still in the hunt as one of 4 2-loss teams. Everyone's still chasing Western Michigan with that lone loss. Adam Trick continues to be a game wrecker for Miami.
And just to explain further how Miami can get to the MAC title game, because it doesn't maybe make a lot of sense for the folks out there, because Miami sits at 4-2. Ohio has 2 losses. Toledo, 2 losses. Those 2 teams have beaten Miami. It's crazy, but the tiebreaker would be thrown out. The head-to-head tiebreaker is thrown out if both those teams also win out because the head-to-head doesn't match up. So they go to, they compare like opponents, and Miami would win that tiebreaker, and they would go to Detroit having lost to both Toledo and Ohio. It's a wild scenario. I know other conferences have similar tiebreakers as well, but that's how it would turn out for Miami. Now they still have to win next week, and certainly those other things would have to happen too, but it's a possibility. I think it's actually becoming more and more likely as we look at things now.
McMillan with a grab. First down gain. No timeouts left for Buffalo, rather. They do have the 2-minute timeout looming. But down 3 scores. It would take a miracle and some help. And the penalties
Ball start.
not
Offense,
part of that comeback
number 73.
plan.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, with a win tonight, Miami's MAC championship chances elevate slightly. If they win out, they're a little bit above 40%. They certainly need some help, but the tiebreaker scenario is certainly in their favor despite losing to Toledo and to Ohio. Those are their 2 conference losses. Those are also a pair of 2-loss teams in the MAC. They have that home game against Ball State to end the regular season. For Ohio, they will come here to Buffalo, and the Bulls will need to win that game against the defending MAC champs to become bowl eligible for the 5th time in the last 7 years. And of course, if you're looking at the Miami chances, they are a heavy favorite next week against Ball State.
Yeah, according
to Analytics gives them above an 85% chance to win that game.
There you go, partner.
Of course, you've been around MACtion long enough to know that that doesn't necessarily mean anything when they kick the football.
It means absolutely nothing when it comes to, especially the midweek stuff. That game, however, will be.
That's Grant with the sack. Grant Lyons. And it's going the other way. They're going to say it was a turnover for Miami. By Jobe smartly jumped on the football, believing that it was jarred loose before Roberson's knee hit the ground, and he was correct.
Yeah, that is just great awareness, Matt. So many players, for whatever reason, would not be aware to jump on the ball. You never know if that thing was really a fumble, and it was. And that's Miami ball.
Boy, this defensive line for the Miami Redhawks has been sensational over the last quarter and a half. Remember, this team gave up 17 unanswered points, went down 20-17. The defense has bowed up and completely wrecked this comeback effort by Buffalo. And now the victory formation for Thomas Gostkowski, who became a star tonight for Miami. This is a young man who had not attempted a pass collegiately. Began the season as the 3rd-string quarterback. DeQuan Finn moves on. Henry Hessen comes out of the game. And in comes Thomas Gostkowski, and they have found something with him late. Was still a chance to make the MAC title game.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
I think it's safe to say that next week against Ball State, 13 will be under center.
He's your starter.
He's your starter. Has to be.
We'll be back to wrap it up from UB Stadium after this. Chuck Martin's team going to walk away with a victory tonight. back and forth affair tonight at UB Stadium in Amherst, New York. Ultimately, though, Miami's defense bowing up and allowing the Red Hawk offense to score 17 unanswered to finish the game under redshirt freshman quarterback Thomas Gostkowski, who prior to tonight, Dustin, had 3 rushing attempts for 20 yards in his career.
I've just been so impressed with this guy. We knew nothing about him. We knew he might take some snaps. Coach Martin mentioned to us on our chat this week that he's a dual threat. He's very athletic. He won a state championship in high school, and that's about it. And I think the world has just been introduced to young Thomas Gostkowski, who, man, I think the sky's the limit for this guy. He didn't just have 1 or 2 nice throws. Like, he put it all together. He played with confidence. He played with poise. Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes that any freshman would make. But overall, I mean, the arm talent's there to be able to whip the ball around in these conditions. Super impressive.
Chuck Martin's going to come away with his first win at UB Stadium since 2016. When he was just a young head coach at Miami early in his career, took over the head job here in 2014. He's the longest tenured coach in Miami football history, which is long and historic, particularly at that position, the cradle of coaches in Oxford. And he's also the winningest head football coach in program history.
He'll have a statue there at some point.
It's so interesting. Every year, no matter what's going on with his roster, no matter what their non-conference looks like, this year they went 0-3. He always finds a way in November to have his team at least in the hunt to get to Detroit.
You gotta love the fact that when you are calling a Miami game or you're watching a Miami game on TV at home, you just always know what you're gonna get. I mean, they don't win every game, but you know they're going to play their tails off every single game, no matter what the situation is or the circumstance may be.
Buffalo conceding here. They will need a win next week against the defending MAC champ Ohio Bobcats to become bowl eligible. Pete Lembo's team battling valiantly tonight, but ultimately coming up short against a star effort by Adam Trick and this Miami Redhawks defense, and equally impressive on the offensive side, Thomas Gostkowski, Jordan Brunson, and Dom Jobin, who hit 3 field goals tonight for Chuck Martin. They improved to 6-5 and are bowl eligible for the 5th consecutive season and remain, Dustin, in the hunt for a spot in the MAC title game for the 3rd straight year.
Impressive performance by the Redhawks. 3rd-string quarterback, the MVP of this game.
Thomas Gostkowski had not completed a pass in his collegiate football career before tonight. He went 13 of 23 with a touchdown in the air and another on the ground with 185 yards passing. And the Miami Redhawks come to Buffalo and win for the first time in nearly 10 years, keeping their hopes of a MAC title alive as they head into the final week of conference play. For Dustin Fox, our entire ESPN crew, Matt Schumacher saying so long from Buffalo. Our final score, Miami 37, Buffalo 20. Coming up next, it's NFL Live.